I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
We got that,
win.
but I'm just saying people that are born. I would just want to see your opinion on people that are born into.
I went to the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, and they told me to find a way or make one. Right. So anybody born in any situation will do just that.
Then there's no point in talking about that destitute situation.
It is.
Let's move on.
Because right now people are being allocated resources, and we have people who need those resources. We're talking about the fact that we're not prioritizing American citizens.
No, but that's what I asked you.
We're not prioritizing American citizens.
You heard me say at the beginning of what I said that I believe it should go to American citizens first. I said that, ma'am.
Okay.
I just asked you
I'm pointing out the fact that when we're talking about immigration, we understand that Republicans would not give out these resources.
That's all I wanted you to say.
My point is Democrats are only proposing that these resources go to a certain group, and black people need to pay attention to the fact that y'all won't get those resources.
Ma'am.
That's the point. Y'all go ahead. Y'all move on.
Ma'am.
I'm right.
We said that it's not about right or wrong.
It is right.
No, it's not.
It is right.
Black
people won't get those resources, and therefore you should not vote for a Democrat.
All right, thank you for watching this video on Freedom of Black Thought. I am Martin Wilson, and recently I came across a video. It was more of like an open panel discussion. It was first concerning the presidential debate between Trump and Kamala Harris, and then so it turned into other issues that are sort of a part of the black community. And in this particular footage, we have Michaela Montgomery. You may remember Michaela Montgomery, who is a supporter of Trump and recently became a sort of a popular face within the political campaign of President Trump because of her livid support of President Trump within one of his campaign events. And so in this particular conversation, she is a panelist on Revolt News, which is a black centerline that deals with different political things within the black community, right? It's a news channel. It's a news corporation, if you will. And so Michaela Montgomery is invited to this panel, and they're having a lively discussion concerning some of the things, the issues within the black community. And there are other panelists as well that are going to discuss this, right? There's two individuals who are more in line with the more progressive side of the black community, calling for reparations, things like that. And then you have the other side of the black community that's more conservative and not really calling for reparations, could care less about reparations. But all that said, discussion was lively, and the moderator was absolutely unhinged, in my opinion, completely ridiculous. And so I'm going to show you that footage, but before you do, so let's get into this video and let me know what you think.
Also, I think it's important that when we're talking about immigration, there's several things that's wrong with immigration in this country. One, the Republican Party, because they have no ideas, they like to pit people against one another. And so they use people coming here from other countries that they have intentionally destabilized, right? Why are these people coming to America? And it's Democrats too. Under Democratic administrations, U.S. foreign policy causes people from Central and South America to come here because we have destabilized their countries intentionally. Go all the way back to Ronald Reagan, okay? This is nothing new. So the idea that we are saying, oh, they're bringing all these people here. Well, if America minded its own business and wouldn't go stirring up shit in other people's countries, those people would probably stay where they were at.
Immigration.
Yeah. So as it relates to immigration, I think it's a really funny subject, right? The very folks that say year over year that they can't give resources, right, or reparations and everything else to Black Americans in all the blue cities across America, they found a way to give immigrants, illegal immigrants, hundreds of millions of dollars in cities like Chicago. Most recently in states like California, the state Senate passed a bill to grant 0% interest loans, zero down, plus $150,000, I believe it's a tax credit.
And so, yeah, that's true. I'm from California. California certainly threw that out there, but to California's defense, Gavin Newsom did veto that idea. So no, illegal immigrants, at least in California, would not be receiving $150 to buy a home or anything of that nature. But all that what he said before was true. Like immigrants all over this country are getting a hookup, right? They're getting straight up hookup financially. And the Democrat Party continues to dangle this carrot of reparations in front of the black community. The black community's been arguing and fighting for these things for who knows how long, and they ain't got not even an inch or a dime of what they're calling for. But as soon as illegal immigrants come over here, they're getting what they want. I'm one. I could care less about reparations. I'm indifferent about it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It makes no difference upon me. I'm gonna continue to do my thing. But nonetheless, black folks who really care about reparations have been fighting this battle for who knows how long, and it ain't doing nothing. And this is the problem with supporting the Democratic Party. If you're black, you continue to support this party, and they ain't done nothing for you, nothing at all. But yeah, you're gonna vote for them, though. You're gonna vote for them and hoping that one day, amazingly, they're gonna give you reparations. You keep on hoping for that. You continue to stay in the same spot. You continue to vote Democrat.
The reality in this situation is that there is a group of folks that, under the Biden-Harris administration, have been brought into this country to offset the vote. And that is a legitimate issue for black Americans today, and we need to deal with it. And oh, by the way, in the process of that, we've got undocumented terrorists that have come into this country that have put our nation at risk. And I have a legitimate issue with that.
The biggest people on the terrorist watch list are white supremacists.
Well, I want to piggyback
every
off
terrorist
that.
agency in the United States says that the biggest threat to America is white supremacists, actually.
That's a lie. White supremacy is a phantom. It's a myth, to be quite honest with you. These individuals continue to slang this idea of white supremacy around as if it's some boogeyman. It's a straight up boogeyman. That's what it is. It's a boogeyman. It's a fairy tale. The fact is that there's no one holding you back. Get your butt up and do your work, and you'll be all right.
Okay, well, to piggyback off that, just discussing the resources. As a former foster child, had I aged out, I would have only left the orphanage with a garbage bag full of clothes, and they would have given me a $700 check a month and told me good luck. So I think that it's disgusting, a spit in the face to kids like me who didn't ask to be born into the situations that we were born into, that we would never be able to qualify for the resources that are literally being given to somebody else. Additionally, let's talk about the reasoning why they're coming over here, because we keep talking about the type of people that are coming over here. Let's look about the reasoning why they're even letting them coming over here. Black people are no longer fearing that the Republicans are going to take away our right to vote. These voter suppression arguments are no longer working. Yet if you can threaten an entire demographic of people, it's at 10 million now. We can only imagine what it would be in the next 4 years if this woman wins this office. In which case, now if you tell that large of a demographic of people that they will lose all of their benefits and their citizenship if they were to vote for a Republican, you can guarantee that you now have a new loyal voting base. So in the same way that black people have been prioritized last, every time we're prioritized first during campaign season, prioritized last during an administration. We're going to go see us be kicked out of the room. We won't even be on the list once these migrants have come over here. There's already 10 million. There's only 49 million of us here. There's only 49 million of us here. And then if you think about the voter apathy that exists within the black community, there's not 49 million of us voting. But you can guarantee every single one of those illegals who can get out there and vote is going to go vote.
Yep, and then they're going to go vote Democrat, too. They're going to vote Democrat, like McKellar Montgomery said. McKellar Montgomery pointed out that, hey, the fear is that if you vote a Republican in, this is what the Democrats are going to push towards the immigrants, is that if you vote a Republican, they're going to take your citizenship away. Hey, you should vote for Democrat. And that's what they're going to do. In the same way that they use the black folks to say, hey, if you vote Republican, you're not going to get reparations. And what do black folks do? They continue to vote Democrat with no resolve in the reparations at all. And so they're using people. And this is a known tactic by the Democratic Party. They continue to use people over and over and over and over again and continue to do it. And we continue to fall for it. So that's why I'm like, man, we got to stop falling for the nonsense, man, because like McKellar said, they're going to start prioritizing the immigrants over the black vote, because black folks, it seems to be waking up. A lot of black folks are starting to wake up, say, hey, something ain't right, and something don't smell right, man. Something ain't right in the food, right? Something ain't right in the soup, right? Something is messed up. And so as black folks begin to wake up, the Democratic Party is going to start prioritizing immigrants, the illegal immigrants, and start dangling the carrot of citizenship in their face. And they're going to get the vote, and they're going to drive the vote towards the Democrat Party.
When we have more time,
if they're not U.S. citizens,
they're literally voting in our election.
But I do.
The left is working to make them citizens. all across
Not even
America.
just make them
That's
citizens.
a-
They're getting
You can't
IDs
vote
as soon as they
until
get
you're
over
a
here.
citizen. Are they illegal or are they not?
They're illegals,
They
and
can't
they're
be-
voting in our
They can't be
elections.
one or the other. They got to be. Are they illegal
should
or
they be
not?
citizens or not?
Right
So should
now,
they be citizens
But no,
or
no,
not?
we're talking
Because
about this
the
election
should
right now.
is what the
In
should
addition
is
to
what's
that,
driving the vote. The
Michaela,
should is
in
what's driving
addition
the
to that,
vote.
Michaela, I
Should
would
they
like to
be-
ask you a question.
Okay, hold on,
You were in
guys.
foster care in which state?
California. The same California that is giving $150,000
can I ask you
to
this?
illegal migrants. But if my
0%,
sister,
zero
who
down.
just aged out of foster care
But they
2
wouldn't
years
give
ago,
you
she wasn't
Hold on,
getting that.
wait a minute. I agree with giving black Americans the money first, but I do want to ask you this, because again, this is where this Republican talking point always gets me confused.
So here's the host, and she about to go on some deranged rant, right? She's going to go an unhinged rant concerning this, and she's wilding out. As a moderator, this ain't what you're supposed to be doing.
You were aged out at what age?
No, I didn't age out. I was adopted. I'm talking about the people who don't.
Okay,
who
but
do
when you
age
said
out.
wasn't born, didn't ask to be born in the situation they were
Yeah,
right
like
in?
my mom was on crack and my dad was in and out of prison.
Right.
That's not
So-
a situation I should have to pay for, yet for whatever
That's right,
reason.
but
the
I also-
government didn't feel bad enough for me to
Ma'am?
give me or my family
Ma'am?
those resources. yet.
Ma'am?
And then leave immigrant.
Ma'am,
That's a point.
ma'am. I just want to know, when I hear the Republican talking point, I just want to know when they say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
I did
when
that.
they say, let me finish. I'm talking about to people that didn't, who were born, because we talked about this before, people that were born with incarcerated parents, people that are born in destitute situations, because your brother would always say, you have an opportunity to get, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, what do you say to the Republican that says that despite the situation you were born in, because none of that is systematic, none of it matters, I'm giving the opposing side, none of it matters, pull yourself up by the bootstrap, you're not a victim, don't be a victim, don't cry. What is your answer to a lot of conservatives that say, regardless of the situation you were born in, that you didn't ask to be born in, I'm not talking about immigration, I'm talking about black Americans.
Yeah.
What is your answer to that? Because Republicans say all the time to stop being a victim and to pull yourself up by the
I genuinely believe that once you
I mean, but the fact is, and Michaela's going to touch on it as is, no matter what situation you're in, if you stop seeing yourself as a victim, you continue to push yourself, you'll get to where you need to get to. That's a simple fact. So in a real way, you are pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps. You are doing your thing. You're saying, yes, I've been through some stuff. I went through some ups and downs. I went through the rough parts of life, but it doesn't mean I have to stay down. Get your butt up and do something. Get your butt up and go to work. Get your butt up and succeed. That's the point. It's not that, hey, there's nobody that can go through hard things. The fact is that stop seeing yourself as a victim and do your thing. That's the fact. That's the point.
stop believing that everything is set up against you and that you can't win,
But
you
just
will
a minute
win.
ago, you said it was set up against you because they didn't ask to be born in the situation.
They were asked to be born into this situation, yet for whatever reason, they're not offered the same resources that
But I'm not
somebody
talking
else
about the
who
resources.
also.
The conservatives
Okay,
say
I'm
pull
listening.
yourself up by the bootstrap. They say don't worry about resources.
Okay,
Conservatives
so-
say don't worry about resources. They say don't worry about it, regardless if the parent was
with the
born on
Democrats
crack.
being empowered, ma'am,
I'm
again,
asking
we're
that.
talking
I
about
asked you what's your
context.
we're talking about context.
Okay.
Conservatives say all the time.
Pull yourself up by the
including
bootstraps,
this
correct?
brother.
Correct.
Pull yourself.
Okay.
So I'm
and
saying regardless
if the
of whose
Democrats
daddy
are
was
willing
on
to
crack,
help these people pull themselves
I'm
up by the
not- I didn't
bootstraps,
ask you that.
they should be willing to help others
That's
pull
right,
themselves
but
up
I
by the
didn't
bootstraps.
ask you that.
Now, this isn't a Republican talking
I
point because
asked you.
Republicans wouldn't give it to anybody.
Right, I know.
Okay, so there's that. I came up, I didn't have to get any of that, and yet I walked into a six-figure job.
Yeah.
I dropped out of college and did the same thing, raising my dollar by myself.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
just
believe that telling yourself things aren't going to work out for me or, oh my God,
It's not
I have
about telling
messed up.
it.
It's-
I'm just-
once you believe that, that is your
I'm
life.
not talking about belief.
You tell
I'm talking
yourself,
about-
I'm going to win. I'm
Right.
going to win.
We got
you're gonna
that,
win.
but I'm just saying people that born. I would just want to see your opinion on people that born into.
I went to the illustrious Clark Atlanta University,
Yeah.
and they told me to find a way or make one.
Right.
So anybody born in any
I believe in
situation
that.
will do just
then
that.
There's no point in talking about that destitute situation.
It is.
Let's move on.
Because right now people are
Let's
being
move on.
allocated resources,
Let's let
and we
him
have
move.
people who
No,
need
but
those
the
resources.
conservatives say
We're
you don't
talking
need the
about the fact
resources.
that we're not prioritizing American
let Young
citizens.
Johnson. No, but that
We're
wasn't what
talking
I
about
asked
we're
you.
not prioritizing
No, you
American
heard me say at
citizens.
the beginning of what I said that I
That-
believe it should go to American citizens first.
Okay.
I said that, ma'am.
Okay,
I just
so
asked you
I'm
what
pointing
was your
out the fact
response.
that when we're talking about immigration,
This is so
we understand that
ridiculous, man.
Republicans
But that wasn't what I
would
asked
not
you.
give out these resources.
That's all I wanted you
My
to say.
point is Democrats are only
That's all
proposing
I
that
asked
these
you.
resources go to a
Sis.
certain group, and black people need to pay
Ma'am.
attention to the fact that y'all won't get
Ma'am.
those resources.
Ma'am.
That's the point. Y'all go ahead. Y'all move on.
Ma'am,
I'm right. Move
we
on.
said that it's not about right or wrong.
It is right.
No, it's not.
It is
I just
right.
want to know.
Black
I
people
want
won't
to
get
know.
those resources, and therefore
Ma'am.
you should not vote for a Democrat who would
Ma'am.
allow foster children,
Ma'am.
veterans who lost limbs fighting for this
Ma'am.
country, veterans like you and this man
Right,
here,
right.
not get those
We
resources.
agree.
All
We
right,
agree.
all
Girl,
right.
relax.
So if Democrats
We
are
agree.
giving them
Girl,
out,
if you
then
don't
let them.
relax,
Then why
can
haven't
he
Democrats
speak?
given them
I'm
to
not
black
talking
people?
about no Democrats. I asked
Why
what was
haven't
your
they given them to black
It's so
people?
And this is what happens when moderators step in and argue with the guest. This ain't her job. She's supposed to be standing by, making sure to flow the conversation. Instead, the host, the moderator, is antagonizing the situation. So now she done got the actual ones that supposed to be debating. She got them riled up. Hey, it is what it is. You shouldn't have stepped in. Stay in your place.
Wrong with her?
No,
Shit, something wrong with her.
Y'all see how she's trying to switch it to make it seem like something's wrong with me when all I'm trying to do is point out the fact that black people are not being prioritized in the administration. Therefore, when you ask about what Republicans are doing for us, what are Democrats doing for y'all? Besides putting you last.
Nobody asked you that.
Thank you.
Nobody asked you that. What I'm asking you now is to let young
John, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
I'm asking to share your thoughts. I didn't ask you any of that. Girl, relax.
I had to put it in there because I saw where you were trying to pigeonhole it, and I wasn't going
ask you a simple question. You the one that was at Chick-fil-A, wasn't you?
No, yeah, it was me.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
What is that? She was the one at Chick-fil-A. Overall, see, this is what happens when you get folks in the same room when they ain't got no control, right? The points are being made, but everybody's talking all over each other. And it's the moderator's fault, in my opinion. The moderator's in the way. The moderator needs to get out the way. Instead of her moderating the conversation and going back and forth between the panel, the guests, and allowing them to argue the points, she's involved talking about, what about pulling your boots, pulling up your bootstraps and things like that, right? Arguing points that's not even brought up, right? And so this is what happens, right? This moderator was completely unhinged, and overall the conversation was it was okay, it was cool, but once again, the whole point is that the Democrat Party is going to use black folks so they can't use black folks no more, and now they're centerlining their focus on illegal immigrants, trying to get them to vote, trying to get them amnesty to become citizens extremely fast. And so they can vote for Democrat as well, and they're going to use that to get people to vote Democrat. And so this is crazy stuff. Always the same thing over and over again. The same ideologies, the same racist tropes for the Democrat Party. But once again, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have yet to do so, make sure you subscribe to Freedom of Black Talk. Take care. God bless.